Hello guys, my name is Lenamso. I'm a gospel artist. You can find my music on Lenamso Official, and on Facebook you can find me at Lenamso Kenya. On IG you can also at Lenamso Official. Those who have not subscribed, consider to subscribe. Well, so today we are not going to discuss about my music. Today, in Bahrain, explain about my life in Bahrain. How did it start? How did it go? And how did it end? I hope you will enjoy this. So guys, we have been hearing of stories whereby we see our fellow brothers come to this country, go to countries. Most of them, they go to look for greener pastures, and others just go for different reasons. So for my case, it was a bit different because I never went there to look for greener pastures. I just went because of my own reasons. That is because my relationship by then, it was failing, and to avoid the shame, I just had to get out of this country, to go there, at least take my 2 years contract, and then after that I would have decided what I really wanted with my life. So that is how I just found myself going to the Gulf country. I came across this friend of mine who took me to an office here in Nairobi, and I talked with the agent, and as I started this process, I started a process to Dubai because that is the place that I wanted to be. But unfortunately, after getting there, I didn't manage to get a chance to go to Dubai. So I was told the only available place, it was in Bahrain. And due to the eager that I had, I just wanted to get out of this country. I was left with no option. I just had to go with the Bahrain option. Since I was kind of, I never knew what to do, and that was the only option that I was left with. So I started the process, and I thank God because within a period of 2 weeks, at least my process was done, and I had now to travel. I remember that day, it was on 2nd December 2019, when my boyfriend just escorted me and took me to the airport. On arriving to the airport, I found that I was not alone, but we were so many Kenyan ladies. Apart from the Kenyan ladies, after getting to the airport, I found that there were also other ladies from other countries. According to our journey, we were to travel that day. It was on a Sunday. We were to travel on Sunday, spend the night in Dubai, Sharjah, and then the following morning, we were to wake up and head to our destination. That is Manama. That night, we slept at Sharjah. Oh my God. And for my fellow people who are just planning to travel abroad, kindly, when you are getting out of your home place, can you just try to carry some warm clothes, because the place actually, it is too much cold. In Sharjah, we had to sleep on the floor. We had no option. There is no seats to sleep on, so you just have to sleep on the floor. And I remember it was so much cold, of which we had to bear with it because we had no other alternative. So we spent the night there. In the following morning, we took the other flight to Manama. So on arrival to Manama, I found this guy who was waiting for me in the airport. But after this guy took me, I thought that he was going to take me to the office. Unfortunately, he never took me to the office. He took me to his home place, where I went and met his wife. I stayed there for like 2 hours, and then after some time, that is when my sponsor and my madam came for me. They came for me and they took me to my working place, that is in their home. And on arrival there, I was told to go in my room. I was just shown my room, and then I was told to take shower and then take 2 hours break. After taking the 2 hours break, I was to get downstairs, and then after that, they would at least try to show me the way forward. So I went and took the shower. I took my 2 hours break, and then not break, but rest. I took my 2 hours down. When I went to down, African culture that whereby we find that each and every time that you have a visitor, definitely you expect that you have to that is being served some or drink. But I came to realize that in Arabic countries it is a bit different, because despite arriving there, they never considered the fact that all that time I had not eaten. So the first thing they did, it was to show me how to work. So they showed me, this is your work, this is what you're gonna do about, this is how you're gonna go about it, this is how you will be cleaning, this is how you will be cleaning the room. So they showed me all those things. And then after that they asked me, do you want to start working now, or do you want to start working tomorrow morning? I remember, according to how much I was hungry, remember it was 2 days, I had not eaten anything. So I said I was not ready to start working then, and I said I would consider starting the work the following morning. So I went back to my room. Unfortunately, I had not eaten anything, but I thank God, because there is this one lady who was in that house, and she brought some food for me. That was my first time to eat Arabic food. I remember it was just like a small plate, and it had some baked beans in it, and there was this bread called kubus. For those who don't know what is a kubus, it is a dried bread without any oil. That is Umoja 3. As you continue listening to my story, by the way, continue subscribing so that you can continue getting more of my stories of my life in Bahrain. By the way, would you like to taste Arabic food? If yes, just comment down there and I will send you some recipes of Arabic food that I know. After the lady brought me the food, I ate it half-heartedly. Actually, I never liked the food at the beginning, because it was not the kind of food that I'm used to. We are already used to our African food. But now, this is a different recipe. I have never seen such foods. I have never seen baked beans. It was the first time that I was seeing them. But since I had no alternative, I just had to take them. From there, it reached a point, the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, April, I became sick, and my sponsor took me to the hospital. After being taken to the hospital, I was discovered to have some stomach ulcers, which brought a lot of problems to me and a lot of complications, because from there I was told there is certain food that I was supposed to be eating. I was told not to eat this kind of foods, especially Arabic food. I was told not to eat, because for those who have been into Arabic countries, they know that Arabic food, they have a lot of spices in them, and I was not supposed to be taking the spices. After reaching home, I thank God, because I had a very good sponsor, a very good one, very good sponsor. After reaching home, they never allowed me to work. They just went and take rest in my room. Now the main problem was this. These guys, they are telling you, don't, but taking good care of you. They never, of the day, I always found myself too much hungry. I'm not eating. Every time they used to cook, they used to feed me with white rice, and that was the only food that was there. It reached a point whereby I had to steal some food from the sometimes some food in the fridge, and I would go and take the and then eat, and then I would just become sick. Afterwards, they would ask me, what did you eat? After telling them I ate the food, they would ask me, why did you have to eat the food? They would start shouting at me, why did you have to eat this food? You know very well, you are not supposed to be eating this kind of food. Why do you have to do so? So you are looking for problems, you are all. They talked a lot, they shouted at me a lot, so I was left with no option but to eat the food that they always gave me. This time I'm sick, I cannot get to the kitchen to prepare anything for myself. They never allowed me to get anywhere near the kitchen. In fact, sometimes they always brought the food in my room. Anything they bring me, it is what I was supposed to eat. I found myself in this hectic situation, and I reached a point whereby I was too much weak. I became too much weak. I became very weak, And by the end of the day, in the morning, I have to wake up. I have to continue with my work. I have to go on with my duties. I have to continue with my house chores. So I reached a point and I felt as if I was dying. I was almost dying. At this point, when I sat down, I asked myself, what kind of life is this that I'm living? One thing is, they are paying me on the date that I'm required to be paid. Yes, they are not allowing me to work when I'm sick. But now the problem is they are not feeding me. They are not giving me food. I'm weak. I just sat down and I said, no, I cannot continue with this life again. And then, apart from that, there were some also other challenges of which we will have to discuss about them on another episode. Some of the challenges that I came across this house, it is that the whole day I would spend all the day working. By the end, around 10 o'clock when I'm about to go to bed, I would get to bed and then I would just receive a call, somebody calling me, hello Lina, can you come to my room? I want you to clean my room. And my question was, the whole day I have been working, the whole day you have been sleeping. How do you expect me to keep on working the whole day? And at night when it is my resting time, you are there calling me to come and clean your room. So these are some of the challenges that I came across this house among many. And after realizing that I was too much weak and I felt as if I was dying, I reached a point and I decided that enough is enough. I said I couldn't manage this kind of life. What step did I make next? I decided to run away. So guys, what do you think? Was my running away a good idea for me? Please guys, just comment notification bell so that you can be getting each and every video that I upload. See you next time. Bye. Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Kindly, if you are new, consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lenamso Official. When I decided to run away, I woke up in the morning and I decided to get out of the house. I never knew where the police station was. I never knew anybody. I never knew anywhere. So immediately I got out of the house. I ran and went to the nearest roadblock. But I remember that is the very, very first mistake that I ever did in Bahrain. Because when I went to the roadblock, these guys, the traffic guys, they gave me breakfast, they gave me lunch. It means I was taken to the police station around 2 p.m. That is when I was taken to the police station, and I was living in Hamad. I was living in Hamad town, but now I was taken to Zalak police station. After being taken to Zalak police station, I remember I talked to the Kenyan embassy representative. That is the first Kenyan embassy representative that I talked to, and he said that I should be taken back to my sponsor, go and get all my documents and get my clothes, and then after that the embassy was to come and take over my case now. I remember those police, they took me to my sponsor's house, but unfortunately on reaching my sponsor's house, I found these guys, they were working with the BDF. BDF, that is the Bahrain Defense Force. And I remember one of the woman who is married to the first son of that house is a police woman. So immediately they came, they started chatting, they started laughing. So in short, I never got any help, because even the police that I went with, they never took anything from them. They never took my documents, and instead my sponsor came and started threatening me in their presence. So that means I was helpless. I couldn't have done anything else. But I would like to advise those ladies who are in Gulf. If you just decide to run away, please, the first thing you should do, it is to go to the police station. Police station should be the first place that you are going, because immediately you don't go to the police station, you will find yourself in more problems. For me, was it not for the fact that first I went to the roadblock, I wouldn't have found myself with a runaway case in Bahrain. That is how I just found myself with a runaway case. I was taken from Zalak. After reaching to Zalak police station, being taken back to Zalak police station, I was now transferred to Hamad police station. On reaching to Hamad police station, I remember the embassy representative that I was talking to when I was in Zalak, he called me and he said, I'm going to send you someone who will come and take you, and then from there, he will show you somewhere to go and spend the night. He gave me the contact to that guy, and I called this other Kenyan embassy he's also a Kenyan embassy representative in Bahrain. But after talking to this guy asked me, what's your name? I told him my names, and then he asked me, and then he greeted me in my language, in my Kikuyu language, and he asked me, haya, uhoro waku, and I said, Mwegafio. He asked me, so you are even a Kikuyu? I said, yes. He asked me, do you have all your documents? I said, no. He asked me, then if you don't have any documents, I cannot help you. And then I asked him, I think you have already talked with the other embassy representative that you are coming to help me. The police are here. They are asking you guys to come and pick me. Then how comes now you cannot come and pick me? And he said, sorry, but I don't know even whether you are a Kenyan. I don't know whether you are you are a Kenyan. Maybe you are a Ugandan who know Kikuyu. I asked him, how comes? You know very, very well that I'm a Kenyan. In fact, you know even my tribe. How comes now you are denying me? Actually, that Kenyan embassy representative, he disowned me like that. He said I'm not a Kenyan. He said he cannot believe whether I'm a Kenyan up until I have my passport. And that is how Kenyan embassy representatives in Bahrain dropped my case. And from there, they never intervened into it. From there, they could be called even by the police officers, and they never picked their calls. But I always say, everything happens with a reason. Everything happens with a reason. Whether good or bad, it happens with a reason. Because after they refused to come for me, the police said that I only have two options. That is, I have to go to jail for 2 years. If not so, then I have to go back to my previous sponsor. And immediately they give me these conditions. I remember, because my sponsor had come and he had shouted at them, and one lady who was near me asked me, Madam, can you understand Arabic? I said no. She said, so that means you didn't even get what your sponsor said? I said yes, I didn't hear anything. She told me, I can just advise you, don't go back to your sponsor. If you didn't hear what they were talking in Arabic, because they knew you cannot understand, but don't agree to go back to your sponsor's house. And I refused to go back. I refused. They told me, then you have two options. That is, you have to go to the police station. You have to go to the jail for 2 years, or you go back to your sponsor. I said I cannot go back to my previous sponsor. And immediately they asked me that. I remember God reminded me of a dream that I had dreamt some months ago. And in that dream, I could see many people dying in water. I could see many people dying. And after those people died, I saw we were burying them. And after burying those people, there were some cries. The people, they were shouting and they were asking for help. I tried to consult the people who were there, and I asked them, these people, they are asking for help. Why don't we just help them? And those people said, no, we cannot hear the voice that you are saying. But deep inside me, I could feel that there are some cries. There are some people who are seeking for help. I told them, no, like seriously, there is people who are looking for help and they are crying. These people that we have buried, they are not dead because they are asking for help. But I remember those people didn't they ignored me. And since I felt like I was helpless, I decided to assume that I cannot hear that voice, and I decided to wake up, because I remember I was supposed to wake up 5:30, and that 5:30, it is the time I was having my dream. I was having that dream, and because it reached 6 o'clock, the alarm was crying. It reached 6:30, the alarm was crying, and I'm still in the same dream. And the reason as to why I was stuck into this dream, it is because of one thing. I remember, I remember I was, every time I tried to wake up, some other force could pull me, and I could not manage to wake up. Every time I tried to rise up, I could not rise up. And I heard a voice telling me, you are not going to wake up until you save the life of these people. Actually, the dream, I have never had such a dream. I have never felt such a feeling in me. I have never had such a weird dream in my life, because actually it is a dream, but in real life it is like live. Because I could feel even the cars moving. I could hear anything. I could hear anything. I could hear the alarm crying. But the fact that I couldn't manage to get out of where I was. Now I saw I'm getting late. I'm supposed to start work 5:30. I'm still in my dream. I cannot wake up. The only option I was left with, it is to just do according to what I was supposed to do, and that was to save the lives of these people. And I remember I went and started bringing those people back to life, and I saved their lives. Immediately I saved their lives. Another feeling was telling me, another instinct inside me was telling me, you have now accomplished what you are supposed to accomplish. And from there, I was released, and now I woke up. When I woke up, I started questioning God, and I asked God, what is the meaning of this dream? I couldn't understand. I couldn't get what God was trying to tell me. And the only thing I found myself is that I found myself interceding for our country, and especially Kenyans in Gulf. I felt like interceding for them. I really interceded for them. The reason, in my life, I have never prayed for my country ever since I was born. I have never prayed for my country. But for this case, I just found myself interceding. I could find myself just crying over my country, and especially Kenyans in Gulf. I could find myself that I just feel like praying for these people. And I remember, I never knew even what I was praying for. All I knew is that I was praying for my country and for the Kenyans in Gulf. And after that, I sat down and asked God. I found myself telling God, God, we have sinned. We have turned against your ways. But please, we know that we have done wrong, but please, not each and every one who has wronged you, not each and every person who has sinned. If you are to punish, I'm a human. I cannot ask you not to punish your people. But please, spare the lives of those people. Spare the lives of the righteous people. That is what I found myself telling God. And from there, I woke up and continued with my duties. Immediately I remembered that dream. And here at the police asking me, you have to go to jail 2 years, or you have to go back to your sponsor. Another spirit in me was telling me, because I remember when I was coming out of my sponsor's house, I never took anything. I was only holding my Bible. That is the only thing that I was holding. And another spirit inside me was telling me, you better go to jail. There in jail, you will come and find many people who have lost hope, people who don't know what they are supposed to do, people who don't know where their lives are heading to. And you will talk to those people, and you will talk to those people, and they will listen to you, and you will save the lives of those people. So I didn't even think twice. I just told the police, take me to the jail. That is what I said. They asked me, are you sure you are going to stay to jail for 2 years? I said, yes, I'm ready for that. I knew deep inside me there was a reason, and there was a mission that God was sending me to those jails. So I said, take me to that jail. After they saw that I was not afraid of being taken to jail, they never took me to jail. I never went back to the sponsor. But instead, they kicked me out of the police station and they threw me to the streets. Episode, and I will tell you what happened to me after being kicked out of the police station. Continue subscribing, commenting, share, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can get notified each and every time I drop my videos. Bye. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Etelenamso Official. Episode, there are some people who came asking me why I didn't go to the office before I decided to run away. But the truth of the matter is, when I was in Kenya, I never signed any contract. And each and every time I used to ask my agent about signing the contract, he would tell me that I will sign the contract when I'm in the airport. So that day, I remember that day, he came very late in the airport, to a point that I never got that chance of signing the contract. But immediately I got in the airport, I took my contracts and I started going through them. And when I was going through them, the funniest thing is that I found the contract was already signed. Whoever signed the contract, I don't know, but my contract was already signed. And that's why even when I asked my sponsor to take me to the office, he asked me, which office are you talking about? And I told him about the office that brought me to Bahrain. But he told me, as long as I'm concerned, I know that you don't have an office in Bahrain. And I asked him, what about this office that brought me here in Bahrain? He told me that is not an office, but it is just a small family that has that business of bringing ladies to Bahrain. So I knew that I didn't have an office. And the way that I went to Bahrain, it was just like, let me say, it is like I was just given out, because you see, even the contract I didn't sign, even the office, I don't have an office. The people who are taking you there, it is just a family that is having that business of bringing ladies. So that means I never had an office, and that is why I was left with no option but to run away and go to the police station. And this point, when the police reached a point and they kicked me out of the police station, I remember I was taken back to the police station 3 times. At this point, when I was chased out of the police station, I remember I went to the highway and I started walking, although I never knew where I was heading to. But on my way, I went crying bitterly, and I was asking God a lot of questions, because at sometimes you reach a point whereby you have nobody to talk to, you have nobody to cry to, and the only person that you are left with, it is just you and your God. So I just felt it was a matter of me and my God, and I started questioning God a lot, and I was asking God, are these some of the challenges that people have been facing in these Gulf countries? But I remember, in the midst of questioning God, God gave me one word from the book of Jeremiah. That is when the word came to Jeremiah, and he was told by God, go and tell my people, since they have sinned and turned against my ways, I will give them out to the hands of the king of Babylon. They will be oppressed and they will have to serve them. And I started asking God, could be our sins be one of the reasons as to why we are blindly being sent to these Gulf countries, only to come and suffer, only to come and face a lot of challenges? And despite questioning God all these things, I was just given one answer. God told me, always in each and everything that you do, maintain good relationship with me, so that in each and every situation that you find yourself, I will always fight for you. When you maintain good relationship with me, I will ensure that you are on the safer side. And after After these words started coming to me, that is when I started gaining some strength in me, and I started hearing, I started feeling it is like God is with me. And so I just wiped my tears and I said that I'm not going to cry anymore. I have been in my country, I have been suffering, I have been facing a lot of challenges. So God was encouraging me, and I could feel something inside me, and I could hear a voice asking me, you have been in your country, you faced a lot of challenges, didn't you not manage it? You manage them. Not so, if you manage even when you are in your country, not only when you are in another country you cannot manage. So I just told God, just intervene into my life and show me the way. And immediately I told God to show me the way, I started hearing some sounds from a distance, and I walked towards where that voice was coming, where that sound was coming from. And when I went to that place, it was a building construction, and I met some Bangladesh who were building there. And I asked them to help me with the earphone. They helped me with the earphone, and I made a call back in Kenya, because by then I even didn't have my phone. It had been taken by my sponsor. And those guys, they helped me with the earphone. I made a call. Unfortunately, the person whom I was calling back in Kenya, he never picked my calls, but I left a voice note. And immediately, I remember it was 3 a.m. And these guys were already done with their duty. They just asked me to get out, and they left me there. So they got into the car and they went. When they left, these were the only people that I came across immediately the first time that I left the police station. So I thought maybe they will not leave me in such situation. But unfortunately, they got into the car and they left. After they left, now I started feeling that loneliness in me. And just when I was seated down like this, thinking what I should do next, I saw those Bangladesh guys. They came back. After coming back, I thought they were coming for me, but that was not so. But at least I thank God, because God used those people. They came where I was seated. They gave me some money, and they gave me food, and then they left. When they left, now it is like I'm in the desert, because those who know Gulf countries, it is like a desert. So I was just left there, stranded, not knowing what to do. And I just decided to follow the way. Just wherever it will head me to, that is where I will go. That is what I decided. And when I was walking, a certain guy came with I saw a car behind me. And when that car was coming, it came and stopped in front of me. And after stopping in front of me, I was just wishing, and I was telling God how I wish this man can just let me get into his car. And luckily enough, that man called me, and he asked me where I was going. When I was about to explain myself, he told me, can you just get into the car so that you can explain to me better? At that point, I was not even fearing anything. I never thought that something bad would happen to me. That time, it was just a matter of me, and it was just a matter of my life and my God. I got into the car. After getting into the car, I explained to this guy what I had gone through and what I was going through and the situation that I was in. And that guy, let me say, he really sympathized with me. He picked me and took me to a hotel. He bought me some food and drink. Since I was too much tired, I was feeling too much exhausted, I slept in the car. And after sleeping in the car, the next minute that I came to realize myself, I was in the sea. And when I was in this sea, when I saw that I was in this sea, the funniest thing, God had already removed that fear in me to a point that I was not fearing anything. Yes, I'm in the sea, but I'm not afraid whether this man will do something bad to me. After I woke up and I started checking where I was and seeing the sea, this man told me, I have a friend of mine, and I can take you to his place so that you can go and spend the night, and then tomorrow morning you will wake up and find your way out. I just said thank you, and I thanked God so much, because that is how God started connecting me. That is how God started connecting me with people back in Bahrain. And this guy took me to Hamad town. He took me to Hamad town, and he took me to his friend's house. I thought the friend was a lady, only to find that the friend was a man. And immediately I got into his house. I cleaned my legs, and when I was about to go and sleep, the man looked at me, and then he said, "I want to sleep with you." Let me say, I never expected such a thing from him. I never expected such a thing to happen to me. But this man, immediately he said that I want to sleep with you. I really sympathized even with myself. And I started asking God, I thought that you were coming to help me. Why did you have to lead me to these temptations? Why do you have to bring all this to me? And let me say, I just felt too much tired. I just felt it is like God had now abandoned me. And during that time, I remember I told God, when I was asking God why I have to find myself into such situation, God reminded me the same thing. You will be a living testimony to those who have been passing or to those who have been going through all these challenges. Hello, my people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. To my new subscribers, welcome once more. If you are joining now, kindly consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lenamso Official. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I don't know what to say, but I can just say that may God bless you for me. May God bless you for me for the support that you have shown to me. May God bless you so much. Many people have been asking about the next episode, but I would like to request you guys, please, do not follow the story, but may God help you that you may learn and get something out of it. Because I believe that the reason as to why God takes us through some situations, it is so that one day, one time, we can stand and testify what He has done to us. So that those who don't believe and trust in Him, they can have complete trust and believe in Him. And that they can believe there is God in heaven. They can believe that there is God who can take you through some situations, not because He hates you, but because He loves you so much, and because He wants you one day, one time, to be somewhere, stand and strengthen somebody out there, somebody who feels is like he's down, somebody who feels like it is your end point. At least you can be in a position to strengthen that person and to assure him that there is God who can change your situation, that there is God who can change your current situation, because He's not blind, He's seeing each and everything. And according to my story, I came to realize that actually, I never passed through that because God hated me, but it is because God knew and He was preparing me so that one day, one time, I can also strengthen somebody out there. In the book of Ephesians, the Bible tells us that even before the world, God had already chosen us. That means He had good purpose with our lives. So, that thing that you are going through, that situation that you are in, just trust His process and He will take you through and you will emerge as a conqueror. I remember when this man started saying that he wants to sleep with me, I sat down. I started blaming God and I started asking God a lot of questions. But there is one thing that I never forgot, that the Bible says when you acknowledge Him, He will always direct you in the right path. He will always direct you in the right way. And He will never let you into shame. So I told God, since I have been serving you, I don't want your name to be ashamed. I don't want to shame your name. So I told God one thing. Can you just give this man control? And let me tell you, my people, God is so faithful to His people, because that man, at least he controlled himself. He never came with that pressure that he was having. So he just relaxed. And in the process of relaxing, I took his phone, because I thank God because He helped me with his phone, which I was using to communicate with. I called my sister. And once I called my sister, I remember And this circumstance that I was in, it never allowed me to be cracking jokes. But once I called my sister, she was there laughing, and she was telling me, why are you surprised? Why are you too much afraid? Don't you know that God is making a testimony for you? Actually, immediately she told me, I started gaining some strength in me, and I started telling God, if this situation that I'm going through, it is for your glorification, then shall it be. And from there, I started trusting God's process. I started trusting God's process. And I remember that time we are there with the man in the house, and according to Muslim religion, it is like, you as a man, if you are not married, you are not allowed to be with a woman in the same room. And since this man was afraid of being found with me in his house, I remember he never wanted to allow me to get out, because it was now morning, and he never wanted to allow me to get out, because it is in the morning, so people, they are outside. So he was like, when people see this lady getting out of my room, what will they say about me? Maybe they will even start creating problems to me. So the guy just relaxed, and he gave me his phone so that I could make a few calls, and I could at least try to look for help. And I thank God, because the guy was so good to me. He was so good to me, although I never knew which plans he had, but I was always trusting in God. I had already put that trust in my God. And when it was lunchtime, this man went out, and he brought me food, and we ate. But later in the evening, I remember that day, I went to the group of Kenyans in Bahrain, and I started looking for help. And I really want to appreciate my fellow Kenyans. Thank you so much for the support that you showed to me. Thank you so much. And even if I understand, because many people who were showing up, they were kadamas. Kadamas, they are these people who are working as housemaids. They are working in the house already. I thank God for those people, because even if some of them, they were not in a position to help me, but at least they were showing that concern to me, and they were like, oh, go to the police station, call the embassy, do this, do that. But unfortunately, it is only that I was not in a position to explain everything, and to explain how everything had gone, and that I was not allowed to go back to the police station. I was not allowed to call the embassy, as in, I was not in a position to explain all that. So at least they showed the concern, of which I always appreciate up to date. And I would like to appreciate this lady by the name Sophia. Sophie, I know you are watching this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This lady by the name Sophia, she's the lady who helped me to connect with a few people, to some who were trying to show their concern, some who wanted to help me. She connected me with them. But let me tell you, my people, thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you so much. May God bless you for me. And let me tell you, my people, sometimes when God is looking for you, He can make even your own people to hate you. If He is looking for you, He can make even the people that you are very, very close to just walk away from you, so that He can direct you in His ways, and so that you can see His process. Because when people start interfering, you will not trust His ways. So sometimes it always surprises me, because despite looking for help in a big way, many, they were willing to help me, but it never worked out. It never went through. But what happened was, I remember there is this one lady who came to my inbox, and she started saying that she want me to go to her sponsor's house, that she will host me for a few days. But let me tell you, my people, what God does. If it is His process, oh my God, I don't know what to say. But I don't know how I can explain about it. But if it is His ways, and if He's the one who is showing you His ways, He will never let you to suffer. at any cost. He will never let it to be, because the lady whom I was supposed to go and meet, that lady, when I was about to leave the house and take a taxi and go to her to where she was, because she's also working as a housemaid, but unfortunately she was to take me, hide me in her room. And that's why sometimes I always appreciate Kadamas more than Kemboys. And I'm not getting too much to Kemboys. Kemboys, they are these people who run away from their sponsors. Not that I want to see it in our Ingilia sana Kemboys. No. But I would like to say, and I would like to recommend these Kandamas, because they always have that unity more than Kemboys. I don't know what exactly is wrong with Kemboys, but I can assure you that the unity and the love that Kadamas have, it is not same as Kemboys. Kemboys, let me not get too much into that. I don't want it to seem it is as if I'm getting too much into them. I have also been a Kemboy before, but I don't want to get too much into them. That is their life, they know how they live. But I would really like to appreciate these people. So when this lady said that she want to hide me in her sponsor's house, and when I was about to get out, I remember she texted me and told me that her madam had brought some visitors, and the visitors they were leaving, and they were to live with her. So she told me, now I'm going to my madam's sister. That means now I'll not be in the house. So she told me, now you will not have to come. You are to come, but now don't come. Now I was left there, and I started asking myself. Now I was to go to her place. She has said that I should not go, and I was like, what should I do next? But there is one thing I was assuring God. I was telling God, don't let me spend another night in this house. Don't let me spend another night in this house. I remember that day, it all went well, to a point that now this man, he was a Syrian. He was from Syria, and this guy went and brought his other friends into the house. Now I came to realize later that these guys, they always once you get a lady, you will call your fellow friends, and then maybe you will come and spoil the lady in one way or the other, and then maybe you will just have to kick her out of the house. And then by the end of the day, you as a lady, you don't have anywhere to go. Remember, I am not supposed to go back to the police station. So in case something bad happens to me, I cannot take myself to the police station again. In case I get raped, I cannot go back to the police station and start claiming that I am raped. So I sat there and I started telling God, I don't want to spend another night in this house. And let me tell you, my people, God's process. Always trust God's process. When it was around 7 a.m. and it was almost 8 a.m., God sent some people to that house. He sent some angels. I always say that it is just, those people, they just came to that house, but they never knew that they were sent by God. Actually, they came, and when they were standing on the door, they never recognized me. They thought that I was a man, because I was wearing a cap. So they thought I was a man. Up until I looked at these people and I saw that these people, they were from Africa. And I decided that it is better I go and struggle with my fellow Africans out there than people that I don't know. So immediately I saw these Africans. I jumped up and I went to them and I told them, please. They asked me, they never knew that I was a lady. So immediately they saw me. They were very, very surprised. And they asked me, you are a lady. What are you doing with these men here? And I told them, I cannot explain everything here, but the first thing that I want you guys to do, it is to get me out of this room. Once we walk out, I will explain to you what happened, and I will tell you what exactly happened to me. And those people, they said to me, you are a lady and there is a lot of men in this room, so we cannot leave you in this house. We have to take you along with us, whether we like it or not. I want to appreciate those guys. Oh my God. Each and every person who God connected me with, may God always bless you for me. There was one Ghanaian guy. he was not from Ghana, he was Cameroon. He was from Cameroon. One Cameroonian guy, and there was one Ugandan guy, and there was another guy, another Kenyan lady by the name Vani. Vani, wherever you are, I know you will come across this. May God bless you. May God bless you. You people, you were sent by God, but you never knew. But I always thank God for that. So these guys, they say that they are not going to leave me, and they took me along with them. That's how I was saved from the hands of this Syrian guy. Oh, hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. To my new subscribers, welcome. And if this is your first time to watch my videos, kindly consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lenamso Official. I would like to say thank you so much guys for your support. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much. And on this episode, I want to talk on how I became a Kemboy officially in Bahrain. And this is how it went. On the last episode, I told you about how I was saved from the hands of a Syrian man. And these guys who saved me from this Syrian man, they went along with me. And when we got outside, these guys, they asked me whether I had something else, because immediately they said that they were to take me along with them. I never went back to the house actually. I just went and took my Bible, and then I followed these guys. And when we were outside, that's when they asked me, what about your items? Don't you have anything with you? And I told them I told them that I didn't have anything. I was only holding my Bible. And they told me, actually, then that means this Bible that you are holding, it is what has been guiding you through all this your journey. And I thank God for that, because this Cameroonian guy, he said that he had a Cameroonian friend. So this is how the connection was. This Cameroonian guy, he connected me with a Cameroonian guy. This Cameroonian guy, he connected me with a friend who was a Cameroonian guy. He was also a Cameroonian guy. And the Cameroonian guy had a friend who was from Ghana. And this Ghanaian had a girlfriend who was from Kenya. That is, he had a Kenyan girlfriend. So what this Cameroonian guy decided was, he was to connect me with his friend, and then the friend was to connect me with his friend, and then the friend was to connect me with his girlfriend. That is the Kenyan lady now. And I accepted, and I said it was okay, because as for me, I was ready for anything. And immediately this Cameroonian guy connected me with his friend, the other Cameroonian guy. The Cameroonian guy called his friend, this Ghanaian guy, and he told the Ghanaian guy, can you just talk with your girlfriend and tell her that there is one Kenyan lady who need her help. And that is what they did. The Ghanaian guy called the girlfriend, and the girlfriend came. But immediately this girlfriend came, she said that she first wanted to meet me and know what kind of a person I was, because she wouldn't have just picked me just anyhowly without even knowing without even knowing me well. And I remember at that time there was this too much scandals that Kenyans, they were too much fighting, and let me say, there were too much stories that Kenyans, they are fighting. And this lady was afraid that maybe she would be connected with me, and then later we start fighting with her. But immediately this Kenyan lady came and saw me. The first thing she did after seeing me, she just saw it is like I was her. She just felt it is like I was her daughter, and for that reason, she said that she was not going to leave me, and she said that she was ready to help me. So, and on the first time I met with her, let me say, the first sight, it was very, very good. And the fact that I'm so talkative, so it was very, very easy for me to get her attention, even to mingle with her. And she took me to her place. But now the main problem was, this Cameroon guy who connected me with the Ghanaian guy, this Cameroonian guy had told this Kenyan lady, anytime that you come across your anytime you come across a Kenyan lady who is your friend, can you just connect me with her so that she can be my girl? when this Cameroonian guy saw me, he was very happy and he was convinced that he had already gotten a girlfriend. But according to me, I was not interested in having any boyfriend by then. I was not interested, and so I never showed any interest. But what I can say is that this guy was very good and he helped me a lot and he supported me in many ways. I remember I even didn't have any clothes to change, but he went and bought me some clothes and brought them to me. And I always thank him for this because he did something that no other man maybe could have done. And after yes, he was taking good care of us, but the lady whom I was with, this lady, she was not working. She was working in a company, but due to pandemic stuff, she was stopped from work, and now she was not working. She was only at home, and it is her boyfriend who was taking good care of her. And here I am. There is a man who wants me to be her girlfriend, and I don't want to be anybody's girlfriend. And as a human, I understood that she was also a human, and she was also depending on her boyfriend. And if me personally, I never wanted to have any boyfriend by then, there is no way that I could have continued staying with her and continue depending on her, yet even her herself, she was depending on her boyfriend. So I felt it was not a bit fair, and I just decided to walk out. According to me, I thought maybe walking out of the house, it was the only solution for me. That is what I thought, according to me. And when I decided to walk out of her house, I walked out, but I never knew where I was going. But she had already given me some advice. She had already told me, you just go to MRA, go and report and say that you want to go back to your country. And when you reach there, don't agree. She had advised me, and she had advised me that when I reach to MRA, this is one of the biggest offices in Bahrain, that they always help people to get back their documents. That is, for instance, maybe the passports, some the important documents. So they always help those people. And this lady asked me to go to their offices and claim that I have nowhere to go. And after saying that I don't have anywhere to go, these guys, they were to look for a solution for me. So I walked out of the house and I left and went to MRA. But on arrival to MRA, these guys, they never helped me, but they instead they told me to go back to the police station where I had the case. So now there I am stranded. I don't know. Even the police station, I don't know where it is. I only know that it was in Hamad, but I never knew the direction. And there I am. I even don't have any transport with me, and I never knew which means of transport I was to use by then, because by then even let me say I was not in a position to access any transport by then. And I walked out of the MRA offices and I stood outside. And while I was standing there outside, I remember I stood on the post, and while I was there stranded, I was asking God, because you always say that you have good plans for us, which plans do you have for me? I started asking God, how I wish you can just give me a clue and know the plans that you have for me. What I knew is that God had a plan for me, but I never knew what he was going to do for me. And for that I stood there and I just waited upon the Lord. And luckily, or by good luck or by bad luck, it happened that there was this Sudanese guy who was passing by, and he was with an Ethiopian lady. And when they were passing, they noted that I was from Africa, and they came where I was, and they asked me what was my problem. So I told them that I just needed to go back to the police station, but I never had any means of transport. So this Sudanese guy said that he was to take me to the police station if that was the only problem, if that is the only help that I needed from them. And on our way to the police station, this Sudanese guy started asking me what exactly was my problem, and I explained everything to him. And after explaining everything to him, he said that I was not to get any help from the police. He told me, if you have been to the police station before and they never helped you, then don't expect them to help you even now. So he suggested that he was to connect me with another Kenyan guy. Let me say, my life in Bahrain, I have just lived by connections. I have just been having that grace of connection, and all these connections, I just trusted in God, because I never knew where these connections they were to lead me into, but I just trusted the connections. And this guy said that he was to connect me with a Kenyan guy. He was also to connect me with a Kenyan guy. So he connected me with the Kenyan guy. He called the Kenyan guy and he explained everything to him. And the Kenyan guy, luckily enough, the guy said it was okay. He had no problem of hosting me for a few days. So I was going to the police station. Now I'm not going to the police station. I'll go to this Kenyan guy. And when we were on our way to this Kenyan guy's place, the Sudanese guy dropped the Ethiopian lady somewhere, and after dropping the Ethiopian lady, he asked me to get from the back seat and come and sit in the front seat. When I sat in the front seat, that is when this guy started asking me, if you don't have anywhere to go, why don't you come and stay with me? And I was like, to me, I felt it is like this man, to me, I felt it is like he just wanted to take advantage of me, because I was desperate. So he just wanted to take that advantage. And immediately he said that he wanted me to go and spend some few days, because according to him, he was saying that he was ready to host me up until I was in a stable place, either to get back to my country, or up until I get another help. So he was ready to host me for that. But my question was, why would he even think of hosting me? That was the first question that I asked myself. And before that time, I remember I had come across, while I was heading to, there was a time I was heading to the, before that time, this guy said that he wanted me to go to his place. And I asked myself a lot of questions, why I would go and stay with the man there. Yet he was to take me to this Kenyan guy. According to me, I just told him, you just first take me to the Kenyan guy, and then after reaching to the Kenyan guy, then I will leave all my stuffs into this Kenyan guy, and then afterwards he would take me to his place. So that is how I confused him. When he went and connected me with this Kenyan guy, and this Kenyan guy took me to his place, I talked to this Kenyan guy, and I told him what this Sudanese guy wanted, that he just wanted me to go and he wanted me to go and stay in his place. And immediately I told this Kenyan lady, this Kenyan guy like this. He said, no, you cannot go to that guy's place. You know how men they are. Actually, this guy really helped me in a very, very big way, because he gave me a lot of advices, and he told me, immediately a man asks you to go and stay in his place, definitely you are a lady, so you should know what he exactly wants from you. So I decided to stay with him in his place, and I never went with this Sudanese guy. This Kenyan guy was to host me for 3 days. Within those 3 days, my family back in Kenya was to pay my ticket, and then I come back to Kenya. But unfortunately, something just came up, and this Kenyan guy, actually, let me say, he had some connections with the embassy representatives back in Bahrain. So he connected me with the embassy representatives, and according to the embassy representatives, after they listened to my case, they said that I was left with no option. But when they checked on the system, my visa was still valid. So they told me, no matter how much I want to come back to Kenya, it was not possible up until I go and clear, or up until I go to the court and clear the case with my sponsor. But since I never wanted any case with my sponsor, they advised me, if I don't want any case with my sponsor, then I was to wait up until the visa was because according to the system, the visa was saying that it was due to that the visa was to be renewed in 3 months time. So they asked me to look for a part-time job up until the visa is finished, then by then I was ready to go back to my country. And that is how I just decided to stay in Bahrain up while I wait for my visa to finish and then go back to my country. So that is how I became a game boy, because